Hey YouTubers, this is Jesse coming at you with a brand new toy review. Today we're going to take a look at the limited edition preview Optimus Prime figure from the upcoming Transformers Dark of the Moon line. I believe this is a Walmart exclusive. This is where I purchased it. This is the only place that I've seen it. Again, I'm not into buying Transformers anymore, but I saw this. I just figured I had to pick it up. Now, I didn't pick up any of the preview figures from the Revenge of the Fallen toy line. I did, however, pick up the preview Optimus Prime from the original Transformers movie toy line. And despite the fact that the asteroid mode wasn't all that great, the robot mode, I was actually quite surprised by it. I also have a review of that. You can go back and watch that if you like. You can click on the link here in this video to see that. So with that said, before I actually open the packaging and take this figure out, I just want to talk about the packaging here real quick. This is the overall motif, if you will, that we're going to get here for the Dark of the Moon toy line. Behind the figure here, we have the planet Earth. In the top right-hand corner here, we have the moon. And above the figure and to the left of the moon, we have the text that says Transformers Dark of the Moon. Now the text here is sort of this faux 3D. And I say faux 3D because in addition to the text being printed on the cardboard backing here, it's also printed here on the plastic bubble. So if you hold it at an angle, it sort of has this faux 3D effect to it. Kind of hard to see with the glare from the light, but I promise you it is there. So what else does this figure here include? It includes these exclusive 3D glasses here for viewing content at Transformers.com. Did I get you all excited? Yeah, I didn't think so. So let me go ahead and flip the packaging around here. Again, we have some blurb about the 3D glasses and the content at Transformers.com. Here we get a picture of the figure here in vehicle mode. And then, of course, we get the tech spec information. Strength is 10, intelligence is 10, speed is 7, endurance is 10, rank is 10, courage is 10, fire blast is 10, and skill is 9. And then the text here reads, though Optimus Prime has led the Autobots for many years, he is only the latest in a long line of great leaders. He looks to the history of his world for lessons on honor and duty, and lives his life according to the ancient principles established by the leaders of the past. So that's pretty much it here for the packaging. Let's go ahead and open this baby up and talk about the figure itself. Okay, so now that I have the figure out of the packaging, let me go ahead and set that aside for the moment and talk about the accessories real quick. So again, taking a look here at the 3D glasses that the packaging touts heavily. They're just your standard red and blue 3D cardboard glasses. If you look here on the side, it says new Transformer toys arrive 5/16/2011. And then you have sort of this flame here that sort of mimics the look of Optimus Prime. If you look on the inside, it just says 2010 Hasbro, all rights reserved, blah, blah, blah. And then on this side, it says, caution! Do not look directly at the sun. It will fry your brain. Okay, it doesn't say the last part, but you shouldn't go outside and look at the sun with these 3D glasses on. Just a word of warning. So yeah, there's your standard 3D glasses. If you want to go on Transformers.com, look at the 3D content, feel free. If you don't, throw these away. I suppose you could use this red side here for looking at the old G1 tech specs. If you lost your decoder, hey, you've got a brand new one right here. Yeah. Okay, got rid of those. Looking next here, the figure includes a jetpack, which I will talk about more here as I show the figure. And then also included here are 2 guns. So let me go ahead and set those aside for the moment. Bring the Optimus Prime figure back here. So here's Optimus Prime in vehicle mode. If you remembered, the figure is packaged in robot mode. I always like to start my reviews off in vehicle mode and end in robot mode. So I've transformed it here into the truck mode first. So the color scheme in this mode is exactly what you would expect. It's red, blue, and we've got some gray on here as well. So not much there. It does have blue flames up here in the hood. It does have red flames continuing back here onto the sides of the cabin. So it's your typical Optimus Prime movie figure. In terms of rolling on a flat surface, it doesn't really do that all that well. It's got these real cheap plastic wheels. And if you don't get the back and the front exactly even, it doesn't really want to roll all that well. I guess this is rolling a little bit better than it was earlier. I guess I got it positioned a little bit better than what it was. So, but again, if you don't have the front exactly even with the back in terms of where the wheel height is, it's not going to want to roll all that well, as you can see there. How long is this figure? Well, let me go ahead and get one of the classic figures here. Let me adjust my camera so you can see. So in terms of length, that's about how long the figure is. So not extremely big, not too small. Go ahead and set them aside. After all, this is a preview figure. Now previously, at least with the original Transformers movie toy line, go ahead and adjust the camera here again while I'm saying this, we got deluxe figures, and those ran, I believe they were like $10 at the time. This here, this isn't a deluxe. This is slightly bigger than the small Legend class figures. And this runs, what was it? It was just under $8 at Walmart. It includes the figure, a couple of accessories, and 3D glasses. So, one thing I've noticed about this line, and just seeing some pictures online, the Dark of the Moon Transformers toy line that is, that the figures seem to be running smaller and smaller, despite the fact they're in the same size class that you would expect them to be. Now this obviously isn't a deluxe figure, but at almost $8, I would expect it to have a little bit more to it. Maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a few more accessories, but it is what it is. So again, there's the figure here in truck mode. Let me go ahead and get the jetpack here. So here's the jetpack. You can use the jetpack here in truck mode. Before I do that, I'm going to get the guns, and if you look here on top of the jetpack, we've got two holes. What do you think those holes are for? To insert the guns, obviously, duh. So let me go ahead and insert the guns. Now, the bottom of the jetpack here includes this little connector on the back of Optimus Prime. It's got a place for that connector. Go ahead and flip these wings up here so I can connect this. This is kind of a pain in the ass to do. So I'm going to flip it around here. Doesn't always want to snap in there. There we go. So we've got the jetpack snapped in there now. Now there is a discrepancy here between how you're supposed to display the jetpack on the back of the figure. The instructions say to flip it up like so. Flip the wings up like so. So that the jetpack would look like this. Spin the figure around here so you can see it. Doesn't look too bad, I suppose, if you're looking at it here from the front. If you look at it here from the side, okay, it doesn't look all that great. On the back, yeah, it's okay. The packaging, and let's see here. The packaging and, let me get the instructions. The picture here on the instructions shows something completely different. Let me get the packaging here just to show you what that looks like, so you can see it a little bit better. You can see the wings, let me adjust my camera here, are actually folded down. We can go ahead and do that. Adjust my camera here again. So we can fold the wings down here if we want. Hopefully the figure doesn't fall apart. Cheap ass plastic. Adjust the guns here again. So here, now we have the wings on the jetpack folded down. Does it look better? I guess it depends. From the front, it doesn't really look all that imposing any longer. The side, it looks a little bit better because it's now covering this empty area below the jetpack. And on the back, it's sort of doing the same thing by filling in this blank area. So which way is the right way to do it? I don't really know. Again, the packaging and the instruction picture that uses the same picture that's on the packaging shows to do it this way. The instructions, however, show to flip the wings up. So I guess it's really all depends on your personal preference. So let me go ahead and detach this for now and show you the transformation to robot mode. So go ahead and set this aside here and we'll show you the transformation. So the very first thing to do is to take the rear portion of the cab here and flip it out. It's your typical G1-esque Optimus Prime transformation with the arms there. Next thing I'm going to do here is flip this panel down here on the top of the truck. That reveals the Optimus Prime head. I'm going to take the rear portion here of the front portion here of the figure, flip it down, and separate that out. Next, I'm going to take the entire torso here and flip it around. And the one thing I didn't notice when I was transforming this initially from robot mode to the vehicle mode is that there's two little clips here that actually lock the torso into place. The instructions don't mention that. They just say, just twist the torso. It doesn't quite work that way. You have to pull down and then twist. So now that I've twisted this around, I'm just going to push up to lock it into place. So the next thing I'm going to do here is separate out the back panels. I'm going to push this entire back section forward. Might have to lock the torso back into place here. And I'm going to flip the panels up here on the back. Bring the arms around. Flip them down. And we now have Optimus Prime in robot mode. Let's bring back the classic figure here that I was using for size comparison. So as you can see, definitely not deluxe size. It's probably about half that size. Maybe just a little bit above half. So the figure is quite small. Again, for it being almost $8, you would expect it to be just a little bit bigger, but again, it is what it is. So in terms of articulation, you can't move the head at all, unless you want to make it look up and down, which is kind of dumb because then it's going to flip the back panels out here. You can rotate the arms a full 360 degrees at the shoulder. You can bend the arms here at the elbow. As far as the legs are concerned, you can rotate them here a full 360 degrees at the waist. You can bend the legs here at the knee. And that pretty much sums up all of the articulation on this figure. In terms of color scheme, again, your standard red and blue. Got a little bit more silver here in the robot mode. You can see some here on the upper legs and in the midsection of the toy here. So we've got a little bit more of the silver there. And then, of course, we also have some black, or I will say like a charcoal gray. It's this dark color here. And that shows up here on the mid-leg and up here on the upper arms. Alright, so what about weapons for this figure? Well, let me go ahead and get the jetpack here again. Remove the guns. And we can actually place each of the guns here in the hands of Optimus Prime. As you can see, the figure can have a weapon in each hand. And you can position him in quite a few different poses here with the guns if you want to. So what about the big firepower? Well, go ahead and remove the guns here. You can also use the jetpack. And I removed the guns here just so it would be a little bit easier as I was doing this. So for the jetpack, what do you do for the jetpack? Well, just unfold the jetpack here. Fold the wings, I should say. Flip this around. And if you look here, there's a little clip. And I can just slide that down here on the back. And the figure now has a jetpack. So, what's good and bad about that? Well, obviously it fills out the back of the figure a little bit more. However, it does make him a little back heavy. So as you can see, I've sort of got the figure leaning forward here just to sort of offset that weight. Now we can go ahead and place the guns back in to the jetpack if he doesn't fall over. Or excuse me, back into the hands. And we have our finished Optimus Prime figure. So, there is the preview Optimus Prime from the Dark of the Moon toy line. Is it worth it? For about $8, I would say, if you're interested in the Dark of the Moon toy line, or in just Optimus Prime in general, I would say definitely pick it up. It's not a bad figure. It's a little bit pricey for the size in which you get. Maybe we're really just paying for these 3D glasses. I don't know. But, yeah, it's not a bad little figure. Articulation could be a little bit better in the head. I'd like to see some sort of articulation there. Maybe allow the figure to turn at the waist. But, overall, articulation isn't bad. The figure itself isn't bad. And both modes are pretty decent. So, if you're interested in Optimus Prime, definitely pick it up. If you're going to be buying the Dark of the Moon toy line, you're going to be picking this up anyways. Otherwise, if you have a kid and they like Optimus Prime, this is a decent little figure. Just beware that the plastic on it isn't all that great. It seems a little cheap. Again, not knockoff quality, but not something that's going to stand up for heavy play use. So that's it for now. This is Jesse signing out.